Welcome into the St. Johns County Show that's on in the morning. I hope you're having a great morning this morning.
You're doing great.
Thanks. It's too early for that.
Oh, sorry.
For people that don't know, you're doing great pretty much means you suck, dude.
You're not firing on all cylinders.
Doing very well. Oh, but it's okay. I know. We've got some stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about the draft and the Jaguars. I didn't watch any of it, so hopefully you guys did.
Yep.
Orange County approving millions to attract the Jacksonville Jaguars and other events to Orange County, Orlando.
Nice.
Yeah, this was a big deal. They did a lot. I didn't see the Florida Man games in there anywhere, but they're missing the boat.
They'll figure out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to handle these little negotiations,
Right? Yeah.
Before they get to the real
That's
stuff.
you're
big.
right about that. You are right about that. Speaking of Florida Man, we've got a great Florida Man Friday story. This I can't even tease these because you tease these and it gives away the whole thing.
Mm.
But this is this is very Florida Man. We had a fire that destroyed a part of a St. Johns County home, and a dozen schools seeking to add students as controlled open enrollment begins. So we will talk all of that and more, and we'll have some fun along the way. Thanks for being along on the ride with us. Let's start with telling you about our friends at Bozard Ford Lincoln. Since 1949, they've been more than just a dealership. They are a family-owned beacon of trust right here in St. Augustine. Honesty, integrity, and community service are the pillars of the Bozard family. And right now, they have their From America for America program where you can get the same price on a new vehicle, many of their new vehicles, as a Ford executive would get, which I don't know exactly what that price is, but that's got to be a heck of a good deal. I can't imagine the Ford executives paying a ton, paying anywhere near full price. So that's good. Also, if you've got a vehicle that you want to trade in, bring it down there. They are looking for used vehicles, and they will give you a top dollar. It is supply and demand, and the supply is low. The demand is high, which means you get a couple more bucks. That's always good. Bozard Ford Lincoln, right off I-95 and State Road 16, where your satisfaction is their mission, and they are driven to inspire. Also, the Bailey Group, here to provide for your family's future, lift the burden of expenses and outstanding debts, and create a lasting legacy for your future generations. With decades of expertise, personalized plans, and commitment to your well-being, they make life insurance simple, accessible, and tailored to your needs. Give them a call. Sit down with them. Very nice people. 904-461-1800. Also, big shout out to Fidus Roofing, Great Expectations Realty and Auction, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, Old Town Trolley, All American Air, Bin 39, St. Augie's Pizza, BHF Insurance, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, St. Augustine Handy House, Lux Japanese Head Spa, and I am powered as I am each and every morning. No sticker today.
Nailed it.
No sticker. Win all
Nailed
the time by the Vibe Nutrition. I think this is called the Cherry Sunrise.
Ooh, good
I
name.
could be totally wrong on that.
It's red, and I saw the sun come up this morning.
Yeah.
It tastes like cherry, and I did see the sun outside, so maybe that was just...
And that is not the weather report.
That is not the weather report, okay. Just making that
Cherry sunrise.
No, Jerry Sunrise.
Jerry Sunrise.
Jerry Sunrise. Our boy Jerry.
Scary Jerry.
Scary Jerry. All right, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Hey, happy Friday.
Yeah, man. Rick?
TGIF.
Yeah, man.
Today is the day.
It's always a good feeling.
Yes, sir.
Blake, how goes it in the booth?
I'm doing good.
Nice.
Okay.
He went okay to good instantly.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm great.
Yes.
No, I'm not so good.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling it right now. I don't know.
He declined during the
No, I'm not actually.
It's now time for the All-American Air question of the day. What you got, Troy?
All right, question of the day. Electric toothbrush or old school?
What do we currently use or what do we prefer? Or, well, I guess currently use, right?
Currently used.
I've got a kind of a hybrid of both. I've got one of those ones that looks like a normal toothbrush, but it's got a button on it and it does the electric stuff. It's not like a full electric toothbrush, but it's just kind of a hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm old school. I got like a dollar store toothbrush. The dentists recommend the ice flosser, the pick, or the water flosser, not the ice.
Right.
But yeah, and I've been recommended to get them, but
yeah, I've got one of those.
I just never did.
It feels like you're getting waterboarded. In those
I've
things.
discovered that I've been brushing way too hard my whole life.
Really?
You're only supposed to gently hold it and just do little circles
dentist
around the
tells you
gum
to-
line, and
yeah.
I've been just
Yeah, no, they tell me to do like no more than like the soft toothbrush, right?
Right.
You don't need any more than a soft toothbrush. I don't believe it. I always do medium.
Yeah, I'm
What is a dentist?
they're in the business to get your cash. Why do you think they give you a little sucker when you leave? Here you go. Come back and see me next time.
I will say I've got a great dentist. I love my
Same.
dentist.
Yeah.
Well, my dentist, I'm that age where my dentist is now retired, so I'm still getting used to the new dentist.
Okay.
So it's like I'm not used to you having your hands in my mouth.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
I mean, I had a good relationship with Mike. And
Yeah.
now we're working on this.
Yeah.
We're working. But I'm an electric guy, and I just recently, but I was an old school guy up until probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Nice.
But I'm an electric guy now, and I don't. When I go on vacation, now that I am an electric guy, I go on vacation. I'm like, I don't think I'm cleaning it.
Right, yeah.
Am I getting this
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm doing it
No.
right. So, because I don't take my electric toothbrush with me.
Really?
Some people do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't-
yeah,
I don't
me
take my
neither.
electric toothbrush.
I
have-
buy a new toothbrush every time I go out of town for
Yeah.
some reason. I just pick up a cheap one at Walmart. And,
Yeah, I have a travel one that's probably due to be cycled
Swapped
out.
out.
You
Yeah.
know when you let that toothbrush sit.
well, or shit.
Or
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You get shit on it.
Yeah.
Same
no
difference.
No one wants that.
No, that defeats the purpose of
That's a
toothbrush.
crappy brush job.
No one wants that. So,
Do you remember the stuff that used to dye your mouth a color to see where you missed brushing?
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that kind of came out when we were kids?
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
They
No,
gave
I
us a
was never that
sample one
fancy,
time,
dude.
but yeah, we never got it.
My mom always did like the Tom's stuff, the natural stuff
Yeah.
when we were kids that just tasted like baking soda.
Yeah.
Because it was.
Uh-huh. It was literally.
Yeah, it was all baking soda made into a paste.
Well, I mean, you guys, do you guys have to do the once a week fluoride rinse when you were a
The swoosh. Oh yeah.
kid? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you when you were?
We
a kid?
ended up having it. It's
In
called
school?
ACT, and it was just
in
on the
school.
Oh, in school.
Yeah, we had to
We
do
didn't
it
have to do
in
that
school.
I don't remember that.
Like Wednesdays was like fluoride day, and you had to.
No.
No, not in school.
Everyone had to do it. And then you had like literally you spit into a bucket. It was ridiculous.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We're using it for next week.
Spit into a bucket.
Budget's going down.
You know, it was terrible.
Yeah, no.
Fluoride
But I
is
think
terrible for your health.
I think they
Awful for
what
your
they did to
health.
kids in the 70s. Like I think they discovered that was
Yeah.
terrible and that was awful.
Or they got our parents, you guys, to just get it for us at the house because we, like I said,
Yeah,
we
they
had one
ended up
on the
selling
side
it,
of the on the sink. ACT. You squeeze it up till it got to your little portion, and you,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I had terrible teeth when I was a kid. So these are all summer teeth. Some are here.
some are there, some are there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Blake, what are you, sir?
I some electric toothbrush, but not my bad at using it.
Yeah,
And and honestly, I haven't. And I think it's been going on 2 years. I had the last time I've been to the dentist.
yeah.
Yeah, about the same.
Everybody's bad about the dentist.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
No
to
one-
go.
no
there.
one-
No one
Yeah.
wants to go.
I only
but you
started
know you
going to the
should.
dentist when I started having like an issue, like when my mouth
Yeah,
started
exactly.
hurting. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, there's a tooth in there.
Yeah,
And then they
there's-
suckered me into keep coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a front cavity that I have, so I was like, oh.
Never had a cavity.
Good for you.
Never had a cavity
Oh,
in my life.
congratulations.
Nice.
I came my baby teeth came in completely rotten. So like if you see my pictures, it's like all.
Yeah. Did they put the caps on you though?
I look like
Those
a
are cool.
meth head at 5.
I'm still in for you.
Nothing around.
No, it was terrible. I mean, and so my doctor's name was Dr. Fane.
Ooh.
Like Fang.
Yeah.
And because I had to go to the dentist so much, I actually have an immunity to Novocaine in my mouth. Like when we did my finger, the Novocaine didn't work on it at all.
Your tolerance is so high. That's crucial.
And it's so wild. So I'm happy with my fake teeth.
Yeah, I would have never known.
Yeah.
That's crucial.
All right, good
There'll
stuff.
be some interesting comments on that one.
I'm sure.
I don't even brush my teeth. You can't have cavities when you don't got teeth.
What's a toothbrush?
All right, good question. It's now time for a quick check of the weather, Troy.
Good.
That quick check of the weather brought to you by Great Expectations Realty and Auction. They can sell your home, your business, and everything in it. Check them out at geauction.com and gerealty.us. It's time for the Hit the Blake's traffic report. I still don't love that. I feel like I don't want to hit Blake.
Whooping Blake.
All right, traffic.
Oh, there we go. We've got Rick in the traffic report.
Yes.
Rick Giff Frazier.
Oh, is that the new one? Yeah, I got my experience
Rick
of a
got his
first
own
gift
gift.
yesterday.
know.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, so it looks like going up on I-95 past the exit 298 at that rest stop over there looks like we have looks like we have a backstop of truckers that's blocking the entrance. Oh, we calling that mine. Which car go by. So, but definitely do be careful about if you happen to go into that rest stop because it looks like the truckers are having a good time in there.
The lot lizards are out.
Lot lizards are strong.
That's right.
Ew, it's Friday, baby. We gotta get to it.
Payday.
Payday.
That's right.
Indeed, honk honk.
Honk, honk.
All right. That traffic report comes from a place that'll get you out of traffic in downtown St. Augustine. Everybody's talking about how bad the traffic is in downtown St. Augustine. It's a real thing. So if you want to enjoy downtown and not have to deal with the traffic, you can hop on an Old Town trolley. And if you're a St. Johns County resident, you're going to always tour free when you're accompanied by a full fare adult paid guest.
Oh, wow.
If you want to take advantage of this, you got to do this. Rick,
That's awesome. We go all the time. We love it.
Dude, you got to do this. It's the Hometown Pass program. All you got to do is go to hometownpass.com, sign up, and your Hometown Pass can be used also at the old jail, Potter's Wax Museum, the oldest store. And it's the best way to entertain visiting friends and family.
Definitely.
Free.
And even if you're from here, go around there and listen to the stuff they have to say. Those gals and girls and guys are geniuses about the city. They know stuff we don't even know.
They do.
So,
I literally learn something every time I take a ride on those that I didn't know before.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's pretty intriguing. Pretty good.
I wonder how they train for that. They've got to do like so much.
Members.
Oh, are they?
So they're basically,
They are. It's a very Disney model.
Right.
They go through the whole training and they have to learn how to drive the trolley. They go. I mean, it's a pretty intense training.
It is.
And they talk about, okay, this is the point where you need to do this and hold up traffic here. And
yes.
and
some of them have their own little nuances and little other facts that they have, and it's pretty cool.
They encourage people to be themselves.
Right.
So it's
really, there's
really
a couple
amazing.
good ones on there, especially during the Christmas time when they're singing and like yelling at the Grinch and.
Well, and I can tell you, I mean, I've been on the tours in Savannah, and I've been on and they do such an amazing job training all over the country. Like in Boston, they have the Tea Party experience, and then they have the trolleys over there, and they really the Old Town Trolley, they just do an amazing job. They're a great company. So.
Yeah, they are for sure. I think I'm gonna do Lux Head Spa in the Jason Statham voice today.
Okay.
Jason Statham. I like doing this one. Imagine this. You close your eyes and you feel the tension melt away as skilled hands gently massage your scalp. It is a little aggressive.
It is.
But it's a little whispery. Using centuries-old Japanese techniques designed to calm your mind and refresh your soul. This is the experience waiting for you at Lux Japanese Head Spa, the only certified Japanese head spa in the area. If you don't go to it, I'll whoop your ass.
Quietly.
Treatments don't just relax, they heal. So whether you're dealing with thinning hair, dandruff, psoriasis, or an imbalance, it's not as funny as the other one.
No, it's not funny. But it's serious. Like I'm waiting for it. Hold on.
They use authentic Japanese scalp therapies to nourish and restore. So why not give yourself the gift of true relaxation? Visit Lux Japanese Head Spa. Feel the difference. Because you deserve more than an ass kicking You deserve renewal. There we go.
That was
I
dope.
like that.
Yeah.
There we go. Sign me up for the new Fast and Furious. You know there's one coming out.
Yes.
Coming
Fast
out at
and
some
Furious
point
27.
Yeah.
Luda.
Every 6 months a new one comes out.
They're consistently shooting them.
Yeah. None of them are actually doing it anymore. It's all AI actors.
Yeah, for real,
now.
literally.
Yeah. Damn. All right. NFL Draft Round 1. You. Cam Ward, former Miami quarterback.
Mhm.
Your team,
You.
your guy,
Yeah.
The you.
selected number 1 by the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, cool.
Jaguars traded for number 2 with the Browns, it looks like.
Yep.
And how did all this go down, Troy?
Well,
Did
I mean,
you said you watched the draft.
yeah, I mean, the Jaguars, I, in my opinion, the best athlete in this draft was Travis Hunter.
Okay.
So I think the Jaguars got the best athlete. He's a he plays both sides of the ball, defense and offense. He can be a kick return. I mean, this guy is a phenomenal athlete. I don't know if we've seen an athlete of his ability since like a Randy Moss or a Dion.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And it's whether or not they find the right spot to put him
Mm-hmm.
of how it can, because he can help Trevor on offense, playing wide receiver, and as a defensive back he can play the defensive back. I think he's more suited to be a defensive back. I think he's very similar to Dion in a lot of ways. He played for Coach Prime in Colorado.
Okay.
Two guys from that team went. Coach Prime's son went later in the first round. He didn't.
He did. They the first round entirely skipped him.
I thought he went 27th or 28th.
No.
Oh, that's right. They took the kid from Ole Miss.
Yep, Jackson
They
Dart
took
from
the
the
kid from Ole
Giants.
Miss. Thanks, Blake, for catching me on that. So it was coming down to those two, and but in my opinion, as far as just a pure athlete, he's the best athlete in the draft this year, and he's the one. I mean, obviously now that he's in Jacksonville, he's the one we're going to keep our eye on.
Absolutely, yes.
So I mean, since Trevor, I would say he's one of the guys that I'm the most excited about the Jaguars getting.
Same.
Even though I mean I'm not a huge Jaguar fan, but I root for the Jaguars when
Yeah.
it's not the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think people who get picked to go to the Jaguars are Jaguars fans? Like,
No.
do you think Travis Hunter's like,
He handled it
They
well.
said he looked happy. My partner said he no, I swear, he said he looked genuinely excited.
Well, I mean,
But-
it's so funny that's the conversation. Well,
He seemed
he seemed like he was actually happy about it. I was surprised.
well, for a business side of it,
That's awesome.
for a business side, you want to be picked by one of the Florida teams. And
Right,
the reason
taxes
the
and-
reason is
Oh,
you
good
don't
point.
have state income tax.
Mm.
So I mean that basically is
A bonus.
I mean, so some cases it's as much as 14-15% raise to yourself.
Wow.
Like if you go to California, you go to New York, you're paying those.
Yeah, they're getting
you're
you.
paying that state tax
Yeah.
on top of everything else, on this top of the other thing. So it's you can make more money playing in Florida
Mm.
than you can
That's a
in
great
a lot
point.
of other than you can in a lot of other states.
Right.
So so it's not a terrible, and he's got a great quarterback if he's wanting to play wide receiver. I mean, he has his troubles, but he's still. I mean,
He's got the talent in there somewhere.
it's
Absolutely.
it's there. They just gotta get the right.
Build some people around him.
It's hard
Right
for a
offense going.
Jaguars quarterback, man. It's hard because these guys will come out for a couple of years and just be on fire, and then it's like, I don't know what happens. It's like they just
Yeah. All right, we've done
they
enough.
put enough around them, and I don't know. It seems like quarterbacks get discouraged very quickly in Jacksonville traditionally.
Well, I mean, the problem is they don't keep a steady offensive coordinator, and hopefully they can kind of stabilize that because they've invested a lot in Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not going anywhere.
Right.
So I mean, he's their ride or die guy, and so they gotta figure out what works best for him instead of the other way around.
So you
Right.
think he's going to be playing more offense than defense? Is he going to be
I-
playing both sides of the ball for a while? How do you think that works?
I don't know. I think he'll have limited time on the offense. I think he might be a third down guy on the offense. You know, probably coming out of the slot. You know, but he just, like I said, his skill set there's no ceiling to it. You know, you talked about Ricky being able to like pick up a basketball and just shoot, or pick up a paddle tennis paddle and play. This guy, I'm pretty sure, can do any of those things
on that level.
Like
some people just are born athletes. Man.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Dion, that was a good comparison. Maybe even a Bo Jackson. He's not as big, but he's just as versatile. He can do all the stuff.
Yeah. Dion's probably the guy that he
favors the most.
And because of his association with Dion, you probably lean toward.
Absolutely, he probably got some of them.
You kind of lean into it a little bit more. And you know, but.
I'm just happy he's an exciting player. He's wanted. Like Jaguars actually have some value there. Whether they can implement it or not, they have something there, and that's exciting for the city.
He's going to be a very popular player. You know, Dion. He's been under Dion for a couple years, so he knows how to be a professional coming in. You know, and I don't know if you guys have watched Coach Prime, the Netflix thing.
No, not that specifically, but I've seen some stuff from him.
Dion kind of is, you know, he's molding these kids to, hey,
to that next level.
We're doing this. We're not doing this. You're letting go of these friends. You're not, you know,
he's elevating everybody.
I don't think you know, the Jaguars have had a reputation of picking guys and then them being bad character.
Yeah, falling into the Duval lifestyle.
Yeah, bad character guys. I don't think this guy's a bad character guy. I think he's a solid young man, and he's exciting. So I think it's a very good. A good thing for the Jaguars, because the Jaguars aren't really always good at the draft.
No, historically they're not.
They're not always good at the draft.
We've had like 2 good draft years.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm still mad at the Jaguars for the year that we could have got Dez Bryant.
Yeah,
we could have had freaking Dez Bryant was available to us, and we went with some no-name nobody who got cut in like 2 months.
Yeah. Like I said, they haven't always been good at it.
No,
they've been preparing for this moment right here.
I mean, what was it? Blake Bortles, the quarterback. I mean, was he their number 3 pick overall?
I believe he was the number 3 pick in 2013.
I mean, and he was a nice young man, but he never really.
No,
nice young man doesn't always make for a
transition.
Killer quarterback.
Like Tebow was a nice young man. He's
and he could turn it on.
You know, but and Bortles had his moments. I mean, he got us to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
But then he couldn't throw an 8-yard screen pass.
He fell off
during that game. I mean, so he just wasn't a big game guy.
Right.
You know, and Trevor's won a national championship, so he's played in a big game on the college level. We just need him to get to play in some big games on this level. So
Yeah. What did you think of the Dolphins taking Kenneth Grant from Michigan?
You know, it's one of those picks. Like, okay, it was necessary for it. We needed that component, but it's nothing.
This is not exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah,
you know, and I was a little shocked. I thought Miami was going to take a cornerback, but you know, he's a safe pick. You know,
right?
That's kind of where I would go with him. He's a safe pick, and they need that on the line. So.
Yeah, but you were most disappointed that there wasn't a guy from like the SEC. You were disappointed it was a guy from the Big Ten in Michigan.
The Big Ten. I mean, and you know, what I've observed, the guys who are at the top level of the SEC are more prepared going into the NFL than a lot of the Big Ten guys. I mean, and I know people are like, oh, well, you know, Tom Brady. Well. You know,
there's one out of a few that's going to do it, but
okay, that's
majority,
How
exactly.
often has Tom Brady happened?
How many Tom Brady's are there?
Right.
One.
That's one. You know, so you know, and I think that the other guy to watch is the other one I was talking about is the kid from Ole Miss, Jackson Dart. I think he's going to be a good pro quarterback, and he was picked like 27th or something like that. You know, he's Ole Miss guy. He's only the third quarterback ever picked out of Ole Miss in the first round, and the first one was Archie Manning.
Nice.
And the second one was Eli Manning.
Yeah.
So he's the first.
It's good company.
He's the first quarterback to be picked out of Ole Miss in the first round, not named Manning.
Not a Manning. Yes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, speaking of the Jaguars, Orange County approving millions to attract the Jaguars and other events out there. It's a bold move for Central Florida's status as a premier sports destination. Orlando is trying to court the Florida Man games, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Orange County commissioners have approved, so this would actually fit right in there. I don't know why they didn't just give me the money. I don't know why they didn't just call me and say, hey, Pete, we approved a bunch of money for the future, and you are at the top of the list. I don't know why. Don't know why.
I mean, they called me for a luxury box for the Florida Man game. So, yeah.
Okay. Orange County commissioners, none of this is true, by the way. Just so everybody knows. Just so people are like, oh, there's big-headed Pete again. Commissioners have approved tens of millions in tourism tax dollars to attract WWE, UFC, and even the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars. Boy, they're in really good company, the Jaguars. On Tuesday, commissioners voted 6-1 to invest in several high-profile sports events. The plan includes an $18 million agreement with the Greater Orlando Sports Commission, helping bring 4 WWE and UFC events to the region between 2026 and 2031, including WrestleMania. Wow, that's
nice.
the Super Bowl of wrestling.
It's
yeah. The Royal Rumble, that's another huge one for wrestling.
Into that one.
And a UFC pay-per-view event. I need to go to a wrestling WWE. I haven't been to a WWE show. In addition, the county approved up to $11 million in bid fees to help lure Jacksonville Jaguars to play their 2027 home season at Camping World Stadium.
Yeah.
While Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville undergoes renovations, with $400 million in recently invested into upgrades, Camping World is now a top contender for the Jaguars' temporary home, though Gainesville is also still in the running. Commissioners say that funding comes from the Tourist Development Tax, or TDT as they call it, not local residents. And that tax is generated by visitors through hotel stays and tourist activities, much like our tourist taxes are generated here. Florida Citrus Sports CEO Steve Hogan praised the move, saying, we're using visitor dollars, not general funds, to bring these high-impact events to the community. However, not everyone agreed. Commissioner Kelly Semrad cast the lone no vote, expressing concern over potential economic downturn and the risk of investing in events she described as vulnerable to market shocks. I mean, these are pretty consistent through ups and downs.
Yeah, WrestleMania is going to sell out.
It's going to sell out no matter what.
Anything.
You can't guarantee anything. That's who she's talking about. That's vulnerable to market shocks. Boy, the market takes a slight little downturn, and that stadium is empty.
Kelly, you're good with WrestleMania.
You're okay with WrestleMania. You're okay with UFC too, by the way.
And the Royal Rumble, you're good with that.
You're good with those. But those
what if they do better than us and then they end up getting the Jaguars and they don't come back?
Yeah, the Jaguars are like, well, you know what? We've had killer seasons.
That's pretty good over here.
Yeah, we've done a lot of ticket sales. Let's just stay here.
Orlando is big enough to, I think, harness a professional football team.
They have the numbers. I mean, and the surrounding area, not the city itself.
Right.
But they've done well. The soccer team's done well. Orlando City's attendance as well. The Magic are actually good again. They made the playoffs, even though they're getting their ass kicked by Boston.
Yeah.
So I mean, they don't have a baseball team.
Good point.
They don't even have a minor league baseball team in Orlando.
No.
They used to have the Twins used to be their AA team was at Tinker Field. They don't even have a minor league team in Orlando at all.
Yeah, Tampa and or Daytona does. Yeah. Right around them, but not them. That's interesting. Well, maybe Disney and all the tourists, like the fast-paced moving of not residents, has something to do with that.
They played some games. The Rays played some games at Disney where the Braves minor league
Wild World of Sports, I think it is. Yeah,
Sports. They played some there, but no, Orlando's. They got a lot of visitors and stuff like that, so their attendance will always be boosted with other people coming into town, like Vegas.
Right. Yes.
Like Vegas has more people than Orlando, but Vegas is football and their hockey team and their future baseball team. They survive off the other visitors that come from out of town.
Because we might want to go see the away team more than the home.
Well, Blake and I went to a hockey game in Vegas, and I wasn't a Golden Knights fan, but I became one
Yeah, absolutely.
After going,
just the experience.
It was just a great experience, and Orlando kind of brings that too. They have that kind of entertainment.
That's a good comparison.
They have an entertainment first. Mentality.
Absolutely.
And I know, like, when I went to Chicago recently to visit my brother, it was like, okay, while I'm here, let's see a Cubs game. It's like you
Classic.
can bring in people that are in town.
Yeah, Wrigley
like,
Field.
I want to see a professional game. It's
a good point.
Approved funding packages also include $25,000 to market the 2025 Pride Cup, $40,000 to support the 2026 USA Fencing North America Cup.
Touche.
Replace those both with Florida. $400,000 for the 2025 AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships. $400,000 for Junior National Volleyball.
Yeah, there's probably 6,000 participants in it.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
So I mean,
they're gonna make some good cash on that.
Its economic impact's probably like 25 million.
Massive. Yeah. The financial investment is expected to pay off big, they say. The UFC's 2023 return to Miami reportedly brought in nearly $48 million in economic impact.
Boom.
Yeah, I can tell you the recent one in Miami was full too, man, and it was a lot of people spending a lot of money. I mean, they turned whole streets into fan experiences down there for UFC. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
And Visit Orlando released a statement calling the move a smart investment. Well, what are they going to? What else are they going to say?
Horrible decision.
Well, I got to tell you guys, we're walking into some murky waters here. We don't know how this is going to turn out.
Let me be honest with you for a second.
Yeah. These Jaguars, I got to tell you, we threw them in there, but I'm not happy about throwing them
Fencing,
in there.
great investment.
If anything could throw off this entire business plan, it's the Jaguars football team. They say it will boost overnight stays, national exposure. Everybody knows what Orlando is. What do you need national exposure for?
The Jags aren't going to bring that to you.
No, they're not.
They will when the Steelers are there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
yeah.
sure.
Or the other teams there. The Eagles or
there,
whoever else.
Yeah. Greater Orlando Sports Commission CEO Jason Siegel thanked the board, saying this long-term commitment will elevate Orlando on the global stage while delivering memorable experiences and economic growth. In Tallahassee, lawmakers are debating whether to expand the use of tourism tax funds for general government spending. If passed, the legislation could drastically reshape how counties like Orange County manage tourism dollars. For now, Orlando continues to push to become the epicenter of sports and entertainment in the Sunshine State.
Yeah, the TDT money's in a little bit of jeopardy over in Tallahassee. The House just passed a bill where you're going to have to vote every 8 years of whether or not this stays into play. And, that's, I sit on the TDC. And the problem with that is if you have to vote on it every 8 years, then you can't invest in bonding and some of the other things because you don't know that money's still coming.
Yeah.
Like that revenue is going to get cut off.
You got to assume it's not going to be there.
And here it affects our beach renourishment and a lot of those things. If all of this passes, it puts it in jeopardy on how that money is going to get spent.
Right.
So we're real nervous about the security of the TDT funds all over the state. So,
what was the voting time frame before the 8 years?
It was
just kind of throwing it up.
I mean, you basically are paying it. The original. You only voted on the original to tax yourself. The TDC.
Gotcha.
And St. Johns County did that in the 80s, and then right now we pay 5 cents on every night you stay in a short-term rental.
Oh, really?
You pay 5 cents on the dollar. So like your sales tax is 6.5, and then you pay another 5
on top
for the tourist development tax. And the good thing for us residents is that's paid for people from out of town. So that helps our infrastructure. That helps a lot of things that we do. It helps us promote. So it was one of those things. It's not broke, don't fix it.
But, and we try to fix it
anyway. They're
politicians,
so they're trying to fix everything that's not.
The actual problem,
necessary.
probably.
I mean, not broke, don't fix it.
Yes.
Schneider lights.
Yeah.
Is this mic on?
Yeah.
Testing.
Testes. So I mean, it's one of those things. In Orlando, it hits Orlando even harder.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes,
I think they're trying to get some of this stuff done before some of that other stuff happens.
Yeah.
Get in front of it.
That makes sense. Well, economic impact to most of us comes in the form of gas. A lot of things change as gas prices fluctuate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's time for the Gas Buddy Gas Report. Looks like the Shell at 146 King Street at the top of our list this morning at 284. The Sunoco at 2199 North Ponce, 284 as well. The Owens at 780 South Ponce, 285. The Mobile and Circle K, 285. The Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard, 285. The Sunoco at 450 South Ponce, 285. A1A Discount Beverage on the Island, 289. The Shell at 2350 North Ponce, 292. The Gate, Mizell Road, 303, and the Circle K on 207 is at 309 this morning. That comes to us from Chris Lucero, Bail Bonds, 904-822-BAIL. If you're in trouble with the law or you got a friend or a family member who's in trouble with the law, that's the number you need to know, 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. It's Friday, so we got a big list of live music happening today and tonight. Sarah Herforth going to be at Ancient City Brunch Bar at 11 a.m. Eric Grooves, good name, at the Milltop Tavern at noon. Damon Slaughter, Ben 39 at 1 o'clock. Tony Scazzaro at La Cocina at the Cellar Upstairs at 1. Heather Craig, Trade Winds 1. Greg Johnson, the Backyard Island Cafe at Meehan's at 1 o'clock. Brett Blackshear, Ben 39 at 4. Trevor Compton at the Conch House at 4 o'clock. Josh Tennessee Worthy at the Milltop, 4:30. Evan D at the Guy Harvey Resort at 5 o'clock. Rob Peck, Tides at 5 o'clock. Mark Hart, Trade Winds at 5. Uptown Friday night, Spinster Abbott's 5 o'clock. Heather Craig's going to be at the Funkadelic Food Shack.
Nice.
That's right. They just opened their brick and mortar spot out there. Very exciting for them. That's happening at 5:30. The House Cats, Shayla Moore at 6. Josh Tennessee Worthy at the Cimarron Golf Club at 6. Mike Johnson and Little Big Band, DJ's Clam Shack.
That thing's still going.
Yeah. Oh, we got a lot.
It's a long one.
Yeah.
At 6 o'clock. Burn Unit, Fusion 904 Eatery. I was very mature and left that last one without making a joke, but I could have. Burn Unit at Fusion 904 Eatery at 6. Kevin Edwards at Hurricane Grill and Wings at 6. Jeremy Price at La Cocina at the Cellar Upstairs at 6. Smokin' Joe Shower at Mellow Mushroom at 6. Elizabeth Roth at the Oasis at 6. Ian Opolinski. I feel like I haven't read that name in a little while. Krabby's at 6 o'clock. The Space Heaters, Pescavillano at 6. Wesley Ox, Avalese, 7 o'clock. Joe Lee, Casa de Vino 57 at 7. Dyer Davis, the Colonial Oak at 7. No relation to Mike. Maybe it's a relation to Mike. Maybe. Caleb Joy at the Ponte Vedra Inn and Club at 7. Baby Gray, at Meehan's at 7. John Q at the Milltop at 9. Cottonmouth at Trade Winds at 9. And Trey Pierce and the T-Stones. Saving the best for last.
So good.
Prohibition Kitchen at 10 o'clock. If you haven't heard, every time these guys are mentioned, I mean, if you haven't heard them, they're as good as it gets, man.
Yeah.
They really are. Very impressive, folks. That comes to us from a place where you can get some great live music. Ben 39, open from 8 to 8 daily. Stop by Ben 39 Thursday through Sunday, 1 through 7 for some live music. And choose from over 95 wines out there that you will absolutely love. Ben 39. Also, our friends at Fidus Roofing. Fidus Roofing, your local go-to for over 15 years, closer to 20 years now, and all their people live right here in St. Johns County. They're also master elite contractors, which means they can offer warranties that nobody else can touch. They love our community, and they love you. 904-355-ROOF.
They do pavers.
And gutters. Ooh, that was almost Jason Statham.
That was Jason Statham.
Yeah. It's redneck Jason Statham.
I reckon. French fries.
Old Jay Stay.
French
They call me
fry
Jay Stay.
potatoes.
French fried potatoes.
All right, it is a Florida Man Friday, of course, and this is great. A bizarre chase unfolded in Central Florida. It's all Central Florida today.
Yeah.
When a suspect offered a vodka spritzer to deputies during a pursuit. Did you see this one, Rick?
Yes.
The Highlands County Sheriff's Office said it began around 2:55 p.m. on April 19th when Richard Christopher Smith, 39 years old, allegedly stole several items, including alcoholic beverages, from the Spring Lake Market in Sebring. Smith allegedly was seen driving circles around the store in a black minivan.
Yeah, he was in a minivan.
So you steal. And then
You do
donuts.
donuts in the parking lot, yeah. In a black minivan
Definitely
before speeding off as deputies arrived. A video captured the pursuit, which ended several miles later in a parking lot off business at the Sebring Airport. During the chase, Smith reportedly held a can of Kettle One vodka spritz out the window, telling a deputy, "I was just going to give you a drink. That's it." As he drove by.
Stop chasing me.
I just wanted to give you a drink.
Let's just do shots.
Yeah.
Can we all get along?
It's the good stuff.
That's the only shots he wanted from the cops. Despite the unusual offer, the sheriff's office said the pursuit continued. Oh, that didn't stop the pursuit. Shocker. With Smith attempting to ram 2 patrol vehicles before his tires were flattened by spike strips. After crashing, the video shows Smith calmly puffing a cigarette and attempting to walk away
waiting for them to come get him.
He was eventually tased and arrested. That's how many of these Florida man stories end. Smith was arrested and booked into the county jail for 2 counts of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, battery of a law enforcement officer, 2 counts of resisting arrest, DUI, refusal to submit a DUI test, petty theft, and his bond was set at $120,000. Damn.
Come on.
He did everything wrong you could possibly do wrong.
Oh,
Yes. Dick Christopher.
Yeah. Dick Chris Smith.
Dick Chris Smith.
Yeah.
Man. No, you just can't get away in a minivan. You know, you know, you just, I mean, it's like,
and I'm sure
it's like robbing a bank and having a Prius as your getaway car.
And if it was a black van, it was probably like spray painted matte black or something.
No, it was glossy.
Blake popped up the video and showed the crash at the end. So come on, Richard.
Come on, all Richards are fucking lunatics.
These Richards, you can't trust these Richards.
Yeah.
Hi,
Sebring.
Hi, Richard.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
All right. Let's see. Back to the local stuff. Fire destroys a garage at a St. Johns County home. Yeesh. St. Johns County firefighters arrived at a call Monday on the 300 block of North Roscoe Boulevard and found a detached garage fully engulfed in flames. An aggressive attack quickly brought the blaze under control, preventing fire from spreading to nearby residences, said St. Johns County Fire Rescue in a statement on social media. Primary and secondary searches of the structure were completed, and thankfully, no victims were located. No injuries were reported, according to the fire department, and firefighters from Jacksonville also assisted in fighting the blaze. Wow, that's a picture from it, huh? Damn, man. That's intense. That is very intense. That looks like a freaking war zone.
Thank goodness it was detached.
Right. Yeah. So it didn't spread to the rest of the house. That's amazing, man. Damn.
That's a big house.
Yeah.
Could have been bad.
Just beyond the neighbor's house, I guess is what it is.
Looks like a scene from the wildfire, man.
Goodness gracious.
That's crazy. Well, glad nobody was hurt. Glad nobody was... No victims, man. That's great.
Gotta get a new lawnmower.
Need a new man cave.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. My garage would. I've got so much. Well, I've got a lot of tires.
Flammable stuff.
Yeah. My whole neighborhood would smell like
yours would be like green and purple flames, and it would smell fun.
It has all your Florida Man gear in
it. It does. It has a lot of it in there. I'm not paying for another storage unit all year long for all that stuff. Yeah. Just put it in my garage and give me no room to get in and out. That's great.
Yeah, and all the stuff in the garage is outside.
Yeah. You have a path just to the laundry.
Yeah, I really do. But I still have to climb over tires. Like I train
He's
for
like,
the
you're doing like
every single time I have to do something in the garage. I'm doing obstacles and all that stuff, man. Yeah. I had to change a light the other day. I climbed up on 2 stacks of tires. That was very sketchy.
Dang.
Very sketchy once you're that high on tires.
Yeah,
that didn't sound right.
That's when
literally.
That's when you like FaceTime Ricky. Hey, I just need to watch in case you need to call 911.
Yeah.
My life alert friend.
Yeah. I'm falling.
You're like stuck in the tires with your arms in. Like,
I literally was picturing his
feet dangling out the top.
Feet dangling, head down.
Help me.
It could happen. That's how I'll die.
You're like,
no.
Siri.
Siri, call the law.
I'm yelling at Siri. Siri! Somebody call the...
Call Sheriff Hartwig personally.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
He'd be the one.
He's like, I'm sorry, you must unlock your phone for me to do that. No!
There's only a couple friends that you even want to see you in that situation. You know
Yeah.
You might as well just sit in there, actually. None of my friends are going to let me live this down.
I'll figure this out.
I'll figure it out.
We haven't seen Pete in 2 weeks.
Well, by that time you'll lose weight. You'll slide.
Yeah, you'll slide through.
Oh, okay, there you go. You saying I'm fat now? Dang it, Troy. I'm trying to control my intake of carbs.
I did not say it. I implied it. I did not say it.
Yes. And you took it from there. So.
Fair. Finally, a dozen St. Johns County schools seek to add students as controlled open enrollment begins. Parents across the First Coast will soon have the opportunity to enroll their children in some of St. Johns County's top performing schools, even if they don't live in the district. Starting Monday, controlled open enrollment begins for St. Johns County schools. Parents definitely pay attention to this, giving families inside and outside the county a chance to apply for available seats at 12 under-capacity schools. Wow, I didn't know we had that many under-capacity schools.
Dang.
I didn't know that was the thing.
I know. Well, they are including Jacksonville in this, so maybe some of these are Jacksonville.
Northeast Florida.
Nobody wants to go to Jacksonville schools. One standout is PVPV, Rawlings Elementary, which is still looking for more than 260 students
for
the next school year. Principal Jill Hillier, says demand has dipped recently as the COVID-era population boom begins to level off and students who enrolled during that time are beginning to graduate 5 years ago.
Well, young parents can't afford to live there anymore. I mean, I think the community's aged away from probably the volume they once had.
Okay, that may be the case for sure. Another key reason for the increased availability, the district has raised the threshold for open enrollment from 80 to 90% capacity, allowing more schools like Landrum Middle School to participate this year. Hillier says now that Landrum is eligible, it's giving parents comfort. They can stay with their friends and still attend a high-performing school. Unlike nearby Duval, which recently considered under-capacity schools, St. Johns County has no plan to follow suit. Pretty much whatever Jacksonville does, we should always do the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
A district spokesperson tells First Coast News that consolidation is not on the table. Controlled open enrollment runs through May 15th. In-county residents do not receive priority in the lottery. For parents considering PVPV Rawlings, the school will host an information session on Wednesday, April 30th at 2 p.m. So that's a good thing. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Opens up Monday. Get yourself in that lottery. Troy, how do you want to go through the comments, man?
On this freaky Florida Man Friday, I will frantically but fastidiously forage through the fantastic fans' comments.
All right.
Nice.
As you do that, Batesute and Floyd, not your average local insurance agency. They provide peace of mind and insurance to protect your biggest investments. Their approach to insurance and risk, longevity in our community, and the way they treat their clients sets them apart from the rest. They offer homeowners, auto, commercial, and benefits, and they've been doing that for over 50 years. Christy Lawrenson, great person, St. Augustine's premier agent, offers complimentary policy reviews and has a deep understanding of insurance and what's needed in St. Augustine to be properly insured. Give BHF a call. Let them help you out like they've helped us out. 904-794-5455. Also, St. Augustine Handy House, because if you're looking for the perfect custom or prefab portable building, look no further than St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and conveniently located in St. Augustine on State Road 16. Family-owned business, been serving our community since 1988. They have the highest rated handy house structures in the industry. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 1. They got some great deals going on their Facebook page right now. You can take advantage of some used units and get a great deal on those, still like in new condition. 904-823-9092. What you got, Troy?
All right, so Wawa was at 303, Costco was at 279, in Iowa City it was 308. The fluoride thing that we did, it was called the swish. It was the swish. You had to go, it was time for your swish. so you had to go do the swish like once a week. Thank you, Anastasia, for the stars. Blake, you get a little bit of money this week. And everyone wants Rick to take off his hat.
Ooh.
Today. So like
today?
It started,
maybe one day.
It started like in the comments, and then it just kept building. So we'll build up to it next week.
Yeah,
so
the last day here.
They're gonna have to stick around. They're gonna have to stick around to see it. A little tease. Oh, keep it down. There you go. So, little tease.
It is under there.
Stick around. You don't know what day Rick's gonna expose that. So.
And you don't want never.
And what comes after that?
Yeah, at least they weren't asking you for more, Rick.
Yeah, at least they didn't see the other little clip we posted about other stuff.
All right. Stardom stat.
All right, Stardom stat on this day, 1901. The state of New York becomes the first state to require cars to have license plates. All right. And the owners had to make them themselves. It wasn't provided by the state.
Oh, wow.
The owners had to make them themselves.
That's
so
cool.
Some of them were made with leather. Some of them were metal. Some of them were wood.
That's pretty dope.
But it was the very first license plates started on this day according to requirements of the state of New York.
1901.
1901.
Wow.
I was just a mere child.
You were in college by then, but okay.
Okay.
Graduate school.
All right, good deal. That comes to us from Boom St. Augie's Pizza. You got to check them out right in between Riberia and ML King. They're the best. We love them. Plugs, guys.
All right, I think you and I have to go kiss a pig tomorrow.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
right. Yeah, we will be out there in Hastings.
Yeah.
If you want to see us kiss the pig, go vote for us at the Hastings website.
Yeah. Shout out that pig.
But yeah, feel sorry for that pig.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
So yeah, the potato and cabbage
Do we have to take a
festival.
STD test before we kiss this pig?
I've kissed.
Never stopped us before.
I had to kiss a pig for like one of the Bozard, like the. It was a fundraiser for autism or something like that.
Okay.
Like I had to kiss a pig for that one when it was Rhythm and Ribs. I think used to do that.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
So won't be my first pig.
Me neither. Rick?
Shout out my pig. You know who you are.
Jesus Christ. Well, not anymore.
Now it's awkward.
And I am getting a test.
Blake, you got any plugs?
Yes, I do. Tonight at 6:00 at the softball fields, Florida College will be celebrating our graduating seniors for senior night tonight.
All right.
Nice.
There you go.
Congratulations,
to them.
seniors. Yeah.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.